Happy anniversary! Woo!
Isn't our, isn't our anniversary in April?
Look at you knowing when our anniversary
Well, I mean, we
is.
got married on the same day, so
But do you know the day? We'll see.
let me think
No,
about
it's
it.
our 1-year
Let me check my
anniversary.
underwear. I wrote it on the
You wrote
inside.
it. Get it tattooed.
Uh-huh. It is our
Our 1-year
1-year
anniversary of our next chapter.
pod-aversary, if
It's
you
a
will. It's a
pod-aversary.
pod-aversary. 1 year of doing this podcast.
I've enjoyed
I've
every
enjoyed.
bit of it.
It's been
It's
fun.
been so fun.
You know, we started it to be a fun thing for us to do together, and it has been
That's exactly what it's been.
and it's grown. Like
Yeah.
we've told this story a bazillion times, but it literally just started with me throwing a microphone at you. Hey, let's talk
Actually,
about.
I was sitting on the couch and
Mhm.
you handed me a microphone
And we have
said,
a little
"We're
lav mics.
recording,
I just plugged
recording
it
the
into my
first
phone,
episode." Yeah.
and we just recorded it, laying on couches across from each other.
Yeah.
Talked about what we wanted to write and what we wanted to
Mhm.
do. And we've read a lot of books since then.
Yeah. We learned a lot about writing. You taught me a lot about the writing
Learning
process.
process.
We talked about our characters.
Think about the authors and all the wisdom that has
Oh
been
my
dropped.
goodness. I know, because we started just talking about the books we were reading and then we started getting to interview them, which is the coolest thing ever. And so, yeah, thank you to
Unbelievable.
all the authors who
Thank you
come
to
on the
everybody.
show over the year and all the
I think I'm gonna make
advice
some
you've shared.
graphics. I think I'm
Yeah.
gonna make some like stat graphics that'll talk about how many authors we talked
Mhm.
to, how many minutes we
Yeah.
podcasted. I'm just interested in that kind of stuff anyway. So
I love data. Get
be
me a
kind of
spreadsheet. Make me a
I'll make you a
spreadsheet.
spreadsheet.
I love it.
Our next chapter
Color
spreadsheet.
coded. Yeah, that's what everybody wants
That's
to
what everybody
see.
wants, right?
That's the hot
Um,
content.
yeah, I'm excited. I mean,
We did it.
I'm so grateful, and I thank you for doing this. I know it was out of your comfort zone
Thank you
at the
for
start.
making me,
You're doing
pushing
so
me
great.
outside
I'm
of
so
my
proud of you.
comfort zone.
I think we've gotten a little better. We're trying, it's a learned skill. We're
Yeah.
chit-chatting.
We've met several authors
We have.
over the year
Yeah.
and invited some, so hopefully they'll be joining in the year
Yeah.
2. We'll have
Year
some
2. We're already
others.
planning new content.
Yeah, we've got big books coming up that are releasing that we got to read early that we're gonna get to tell you about, so we're
True.
excited about that too.
It's all happening.
Yeah, and I know this is gonna release after Valentine's Day, but we did release the first episode on Valentine's Day.
We did.
Which is so cute for love and
I know.
romance,
We planned it
we
way.
planned that.
Yeah.
But
I don't
I
know.
was just curious, like, are you planning like a sweet date for me? We're writing book boyfriends, and so I'm always looking to you as my book boyfriend, and I was just curious what romantic Valentine's plans, because we're recording before Valentine's, even though this will come out a couple days after.
Are you talking about a Valentine's gift for you or for Stella?
How did I know that your mind would be on what to get for Stella? I'll give you a little more time to think about my Valentine's Day as I welcome everyone to our next chapter, the podcast. We are Matt and Andrea. We're a married couple. He's still thinking about my Valentine's present because apparently he's already put some time in on Stella's, but he's thinking about mine. But we're a married couple. We have boys that are almost grown. They're 14 and 18.
You haven't asked me my Valentine yet.
You're supposed to ask me.
I thought this was like...
And I thought we got married, I thought I was your permanent Valentine. Now I'm like competing for this spot.
You still got to check in,
Mm-hmm. But the two of us started reading romance novels together as something fun to do. And then Matt, who has a background in writing and advertising, and said, why don't we try writing one and let's do a podcast to document it. And so that is what we're doing now, is the documentation of our podcast.
If I get you a Porsche GTR,
So far, so good.
Yeah, like a nice one, like a really nice sports car. Is that what you want?
That sounds great.
Okay.
When is it being delivered?
It's gonna have my name on the title,
and
you're not gonna have any keys to this car, but you can look at it.
I don't know about that. I feel like your
I'm trying to
presents
think of other
always have
things.
like caveats. Like,
what if I get you, one of those giant boxes of chocolate, the heart chocolate boxes?
I feel like that I do not love the boxes of chocolates.
It's like when we very first got together, that was like the number one thing you told me was, I just really do not like those
And
boxes
you know
of
why?
chocolate.
Have you ever thought about why I don't like those boxes?
No, I don't know. Because the chocolate's not good?
No, I like chocolate. I like candy. I don't like biting into something not knowing what it is. You know me. I order the same thing everywhere we go. When you make food, I want you to make it the same way every time. I want to know what to expect about what I'm biting into. Like, it is very rare that I want the experience of like not knowing what something's going to taste like.
But Andrea,
So
if you listen to our Lord and Savior, Forrest Gump, life is like a box of chocolates. You know, you never know what you're going to get.
no, I don't like that. I don't like that. You know me, I like to control as much as I can
So what if you
and
eat a
to
box of
prepare
chocolates
for as
that's
much as,
all the same color?
because I'm the person that brings Sweet and Low in my purse for my tea in case the restaurant doesn't have the pink packets, because I want the pink one. So I try to create scenarios as much as possible.
So
So
no surprises then, because I was going to surprise you with some amazing stuff, but
I think it's
let me
mostly
mark it
food.
off.
It's not
Let
surprises
me
in
mark it all
general.
off.
It's
You don't like
mostly food.
surprises. I heard it.
No,
Right
I think
here.
it's mostly with food. But that's why I don't
What
like the
about
boxes of
flowers?
chocolate. Flowers
I
are
always get you
always
flowers.
welcome.
You like
Yeah.
flowers?
Oh, I
Okay.
like experience stuff too,
Medieval times it is.
Oh, there we go.
Ye old medieval times. We can
Go cheer for our
jousting.
night and eat some chicken off the bone with our bare hands.
Yes.
What's more romantic than that?
Or what if I take you on a romantic getaway
Okay.
to Cleveland, Ohio?
Okay, what's in Cleveland?
There's an Airbnb there.
Uh-huh. Isn't that where like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is or something?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Is it?
Sure.
I don't
Yes,
know.
it is actually.
Is it?
You're
That's what I
exactly right.
thought. Their claim to fame.
We could go to Canton into the NFL Hall of Fame.
See, what I think is interesting is that you're struggling to come up with something fun to do, but like what cracks me up is that every time I make plans, like, oh, I'm gonna go have dinner with so and so, all of a sudden Matt's like, oh man, I had ordered you a charcuterie board and we were gonna watch The Notebook. And like everything
Well,
he
you
just
just
suddenly
missed it, you
names
know?
everything he knows that I would love to do.
Those are the plans
And
that I
so,
had.
yeah, that always makes me giggle because I'm like, oh, now you had this romantic date planned when I happened to be leaving or I had a trip or
I
something.
had it
So,
planned.
yeah.
You left me. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, so just pretend I'm leaving and I'm sure you'll come up with
Okay.
something really great. Would you like to hear what your Valentine's present is?
Sure. I'm ready.
When this airs,
Is it
you'll
for
have already done it.
me and Stella?
No, I'm taking
Oh.
you somewhere.
Okay.
Taking you somewhere to meet.
Cleveland, Ohio?
No, it's here in town.
Okay, where are we going?
You are going to get to go meet Matt Dinneman for the new release of the next book in the Dungeon Crawler
Ooh.
Carl series.
Ooh.
He's
Is
coming
he?
to town
He is coming
on
to town.
Valentine's Day, and we have tickets, and that's where
have
I'm taking
tickets.
you. So maybe on the next show you can
We
tell
can talk
the
about it.
audience
We can talk about what
the
happened.
experience.
I think I did see
You
this.
don't even care? You're just like,
I'm pumped. No, I'm excited. I'm thinking
okay.
like
wow.
I'm excited about the tickets. You know, I've read the series.
He's still thinking about stuff.
I saw the post where he put it up, and he's talking about Operation Bounce House, which is his new book.
Yeah.
So it's not Dungeon Crawler Carl, but Operation Bounce House, and I'm excited.
Oh, so it's not a Dungeon Crawler Carl book that's coming out?
That one's in March or May, maybe. But he has two coming out, kind
So
of.
this is a new series.
Standalone.
Okay, well,
So I'm
we're
excited
going.
about that. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I haven't seen him.
Yeah.
I know.
We'll report back on
I'm
that.
excited.
And I'll report back on.
Maybe I should put together like an outfit. Like
Yeah.
there's going to be a lot of cosplay there, I
for
bet.
sure. For sure. It's important. Yeah.
I can dress you up as Princess Donut.
Can you find a way? Well, could you find a way to make Stella Princess Donut, the cat in the books? Yeah.
She would love that. She's bougie like Princess Donut.
Yeah, but we'll report back on my amazing Valentine's and Matt's amazing. And
I know, I'm
Stella's.
excited.
We'll see what you come up with for Stella.
Maybe Stella needs like some fish, some chicken, and I can make her a nice little dinner.
And
I can
candlelight and music.
She would like that. Yeah, just sounds of cats instead of music.
Sounds so nice. And she'll go crazy. Good.
Okay. Okay, well, let me keep working on my cat sounds, but let's talk to Kate Golden, who we ended up talking about her puppy too as well, which I love. She's a dog person too.
We're going to be, Kate has a book coming out February 17th, Half City.
That's right.
It's the new, the number one, the first book in the Harker Academy series.
That's right.
And so we got to talk and hear about that and just her process. Yeah, and she's a big gamer, so that's what we got to learn about too. Got some new games. So enjoy Kate Golden.
That's right. Today, we are so excited to welcome Kate Golden to our next chapter. Kate is a USA Today bestselling author of epic fantasy romance, known for rich worlds, high-stakes danger, and chemistry that cuts deep. You may already know her from the Sacred Stones trilogy, and now she's back with a brand new story that blends demon hunting, dark academia, and forbidden attraction. In her upcoming novel, Half City, you get dropped into a world where demon hunters exist in the shadows and elite academy trained students to fight deviant threats, and falling for the wrong person could cost you everything. It's the first book in the new Harker Academy trilogy. And Kate, we're just so excited to have you here to talk to us about the book, the process, and all the fun chaos stuff in between. Welcome to our next chapter.
Welcome.
That was such a
Welcome.
great intro. Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm so excited.
Oh, so welcome. We're so pumped to have you. And I think, I have to jump in and ask you this question first. It's the most important question. We read that you're into games and puzzles. And as folks who are big-time family night game people, we're looking for some recommendations. What do we need to be playing?
Oh, man. Okay, well, for how many people? Is this for the two of you or with the kids or like a big...
Oh, good question.
Yeah, no,
we have been playing with the boys at least for another 6 months.
I know, until the big one
until the big one's gone.
Yeah. But no, we love to host game nights with friends too. So I'd say anywhere from 2 to 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
A game that is really fun and really easy that you can play with 2 people or 8 people is called In a Pickle. And it's so fun. It's like a quick, small card game. You can like bring it on road trips. You can like bring it for a weekend away.
Pickle.
I won't pitch you how the whole game is played, but it's the kind of game where like everyone will end up laughing. People will be going to bat, like trying to argue why their thing counts and another person's doesn't. I have actually witnessed like 2 of my best friends get into one of the most heated debates of all time playing this. But it like requires a lot of creativity and it's so simple. It's a really, really fun game.
Awesome.
I love
I will also
if we're not fighting, if we're not fighting during the game, then I'm not interested.
I know.
Well, you're gonna love
part
it.
of
That's
our
the
vibe.
best part.
Yeah.
No, it's perfect. It's equal parts like really funny, actually smart, and there's lots of opportunity for heated debate. There's also a great game called Avalon, which is sort of like Werewolf, if you've ever played that game, or Mafia or something. But I think this is the most fun one. You do need like 6 people, and it's like more for adults, but you're 14.
Yeah.
That's really fun because it's about some people are good, some people are evil. You're trying to suss out who's good and who's evil.
Fun.
And it's like a card game. So you bring a box like book, easy to travel with, and then everyone gets to be really creative and it's fun.
I love that.
Yes,
Very
yes.
good.
I love
know. Good suggestions.
Good ones. I've got them written
I'm,
down here. We're going to have to go check it out.
Avalon.
Yeah, right. You should be, truly.
Yeah.
Get that revenue.
I guess if we have to talk books and things and not just games.
So terrible books.
I was going to ask you if you were always a big reader growing up, like as a kid, if that was a big part of your early days.
Yes.
What was the journey?
Probably the more boring answer. It'd be more interesting. I was like, never read a book. But yeah,
I've never even read a book before. I haven't even read my own books. It's crazy. Yeah.
Crazy. Yes. Was a big reader, big on, of course, in the early days, like with my parents would read Harry Potter, the Magic Treehouse series, a lot of like great series that frankly probably no one has heard of now, but with like badass female heroines doing fancy stuff like the Mediator series and the Daughters of the Moon books. Like these were books that I loved. And then as I got older, I had the big split of like I would read a lot of fantasy and a lot of romance, but not really blend until the pandemic when I discovered, along with everyone else on Book Talk, that there are books that do both, or you get all the fun of a romance book and all the fun of a fantasy. And then, that was sort of where my whole life took over.
Yeah, I was going to say, and then that became, part of the journey into this.
Yeah, exactly.
That's about the time we started reading together, I think.
Yeah, it was,
That was a formative year for everybody.
One of the many things, one of the many
for
things
a lot
that
of
we got
reasons,
to spend
probably,
time.
like not just because of books. 2020 was a big year, but yes, for me and a lot of my friends, it was sort of like Book Talk and the entry into romantasy was
for sure.
Very
and when did the writing piece come along? When did you transition?
It's sort of a weird long story, and I am so chatty, so I'm going to try to give you the short.
We love it. Yeah.
But I got into these books, was reading, everything under the sun, Sarah Maas and Jennifer Armentrout and Prisoner series and Kingdom of the Wicked and all these great books that were like really hot at the time and still are fantastic.
Yeah.
And probably like 2 years into that, I had read every single romantasy book that existed. Like truly, I don't think there was a stone left unturned. And I was on a vacation with my husband, who's also a huge reader. So when we go, especially like on beachy vacations, we bring like a
Yeah.
stack of books, as I would imagine you guys do too.
Yes,
Yep. That's where we
absolutely.
started reading together.
Not
Yeah.
a Kindle person, which is a tragedy. So it's like I'm stuck with the books
You're
that I
lugging.
brought. There's a lot of
Yeah.
thought into it.
Mm-hmm.
And I started like 5 books and I was just in the worst reading slump. I couldn't get into any of them. And my husband was like addicted to something. He was reading The Name of the Wind. I don't know if you guys have read this book.
Mm-hmm.
Great fantasy book. Tragically, the third one is like maybe never going to come out. So
No.
you have to
Yeah.
read it knowing that's a story for another day. But anyway, he was reading this book that he couldn't put down. And I was like, well, what am I going to do all day? Like, I don't have a book to read. We're sitting by the beach. And I was kind of saying to him one night at like the first night or second night of dinner, I was like, I want this book to have this thing, or I'd like this book if it had that, or like, I wish that this was just more like this other thing I loved. And my husband, Jack, was like, and I did at the time, I worked in a job that was, very tied to story development. So he was like, this is what you know how to do. You should write the thing you want to read. And frankly, just so you have something to do all day long
Absolutely.
lying by the pool. And so I started crafting a book that was sort of like my hit list of all the things I wish like
Yeah.
this book, and it ended up being A Dawn of Onyx. It was the first thing I ever wrote.
That's amazing.
Wow.
I love that too. I feel like so many times we hear the advice of write what you want to read. Don't try to write to the market. It changes too quickly, or but like I love that it all came from just a place of passion, and that you just, as an avid reader and a lover of the genre, that you created
Very
what you
cool.
wanted to see. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So tell us about this 9 to 5, the full-time the gig.
I feel like it's funny. I don't know if I've like formally said this anywhere, but I actually recently quit to be a full-time author, which
Awesome.
thank you. It was very exciting. I had been waiting to do that for a really long time.
Yes.
It's a book event that I was at where the author, who is also a good friend of mine, who was my conversation partner, got like the entire crowd to like chant at me to quit my job.
Yes. We love that kind of peer
Pretty
pressure.
quickly after that, like
Yeah.
it really. I don't know if anyone from
Yes.
Portland is listening to this, but it was in Portland.
I love that.
They really
Thanks. Good job for the positive peer pressure.
Yeah, it had a
program.
real
Yeah.
effect on me. But yes, I grew up in Los Angeles. Both my parents were in film. I went to NYU to study film producing.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as I graduated, I went into that world. So I had worked in kind of like essentially as a studio executive. That was my job. So I would develop stories with screenwriters and directors, sometimes authors who were adapting their work or someone else's work. I don't know, I started when I was 22 and I'm 31. So for almost a decade.
Yeah.
And it was not by any means a bad job. In fact, like a very creative, really
Mm-hmm.
all my friends were in the business. And I really liked
Yeah.
it for a long time until you find the thing that you really love.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then it's really not so fun anymore. Because you're like, before it was like, oh, I'm really lucky to have a job that I like. But writing was like, oh, the thing I like happens to, make money, but it never felt like a job. And that was suddenly, waking up and going to the office when I could have been writing at home.
You could have been writing.
Sounds dramatic.
Yeah.
Like you found no,
I love
you
it.
found the thing that you
That's
couldn't
awesome.
stop thinking about. Yeah.
You're living the dream. I love it.
I
Congrats.
feel very
fantastic.
lucky. It is an enormous privilege. But the truth is, like, you also have to, I think you actually said something about this right before we started recording, but as soon as the thing you love is suddenly the way you are paying your rent or whatever, it does kind of become a job. So I'm glad I waited. I'm glad I took the time. I really, really probably grossly overthought the decision for years before I was like, okay, I'm ready to make this jump.
I'm ready to do it.
Well, and it's great. I'm sure you have established routines and things like that now it's not like this sudden shift with all this pressure. It's like, oh no, I trust myself. I've been doing this. Yeah, I know what to do. I know the next right step. That's awesome.
Yeah. And I'm sure Milo's happy too that you're home more.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Mention of my dog. Way to my heart. Yes.
We are dog lovers.
A running bit on this show is that we mentioned Stella, my dog, every single episode.
Oh, now she's his dog. She's not even my dog.
Like, well, I have a close.
Just his dog. Yeah.
No, it's my dog today.
How old is Stella, and what kind of dog is Stella?
Oh my gosh, Stella is a mutt. We got it. We did the DNA test. She's like 14 breeds. She's wire haired.
Straight from the shelter. Yeah.
She's a little Oscar the Grouchy kind of looking. Like she's a little.
Yeah, Have you ever seen the movie Because of Winn-Dixie?
Of course.
She's That is
Ish.
actually an expensive dog that's in that movie, but
Yeah.
she looks kind of
Ish.
like that, but she's not.
But she's also like 11 now, so she's a
Yeah,
grumpy old lady.
she
But
is.
she's my favorite.
Yeah, his favorite
Very best.
child for sure. But she's a huge part of this podcast. There's going to be a dog in our book. I mean, that was some of the.
I was her for Thanksgiving, or for Halloween.
Yeah,
Yeah, they dressed as her for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
And Christmas.
So no, we love when we're researching authors and we find that they have
Dog people,
dogs.
man.
Yes, we're
Love
like,
it.
yes.
I am so embarrassingly obsessed with my dog. It's insane. And I say to my husband all the time, I'm like, do you think everybody thinks their dog is the greatest dog on earth the way we feel about Milo? Like, that must be. And my husband was like, yeah, and that's what's so wonderful. Like,
yes,
everybody,
exactly.
you know, you're like, it's so wonderful for the dogs. Everybody feels about their dogs.
That's what
like,
they
I would
deserve.
give my dog the world. And I have. Like, the things we have done with this dog. It's crazy.
Yes.
But he's my baby.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, Matt says
Thank
all the
you.
time, he'll go, do you think Stella knows how much I love her?
Oh my God.
And I'm just like, I said
all the time.
I say it all the time.
Yes, I love
Like,
it. And
And
I
every
tell
time
him,
I say to my husband, I'll go, just tell me how much you love Milo. He's like, you don't know already? I'm like, I just like to hear it. I just tell me.
tell
you
me
hear
anyway.
it. Yeah. That's why I tell him, I'm like, that's all she knows. Like, all she knows is how much you love her. Like, yes, no.
It's
so much.
She's a big part of the family around here. It's very much a yelling at the boys, take a shower, how dare you? Oh, and baby,
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
It's like Modern Family, if you ever watch Modern Family. I think actually his dog is also named Stella. The dog
Stella,
yes,
also.
Yeah,
Very
part of the
yes.
inspiration. We love this show. Yeah.
Yes.
No, we just she's spoiled. So yeah, not to turn this into a dog podcast.
We could absolutely
Milo
very
talk
quickly. No.
Milo was a pandemic puppy, so when we got him, my husband was still kind of, 2020, we were all at home. Then he went back sooner than I did, but like Milo grew up used to us being home, and then we all went back. And so it's been really nice. I think he's very happy that now I'm home.
Oh, I'm sure. I bet. That's, it's been
we
that
came
way for
back from
holidays.
break this week,
it's been just,
back from the holidays.
during the holidays, Stella got so used to everybody being home. And so the first days that people start going back to school and work, she's so depressed. And then you get home and she's like whining and crying. It's like you've been gone for days.
So how old is Milo then?
Yeah.
So I'm going to be 6 in May. How old is Stella?
6 in May.
Did you say?
11 and a half-ish?
Oh, she'll be 12 in May too. Yeah.
Yeah.
They have May birthdays. How cute are they?
Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah. We picked Cinco de Mayo for her because she was a shelter pup, but
totally. We rescued Milo when he was 8 weeks, so we just did the math backwards. But I'm not sure we're completely right, but we go with it.
Close enough.
It feels right.
Count it.
Yeah, it feels good. I love it.
Let's just skip the rest of the podcast and talk dogs.
Right.
You know,
dogs
like
and
I'm down.
games.
I want to talk about this other big baby in your life, Half City. Will you share a little bit about it?
Yes, absolutely. And I have it here. So this is Half City.
Beautiful.
Which has these beautiful, anyone who gets the book in the first print of the book will get these like beautiful sprayed edges. And I'm going to show this gorgeous art that's on the inside. They did such a good job. I'm just like a proud mom. I'm like, everybody.
Yes, you should be. You should be.
Okay, so Half City, the quick sort of pitch on Half City is that this is a paranormal urban romantasy is kind of what I've been calling it. And it follows a young girl, this girl, Viv, who is a demon hunter, but no one in her life knows that she is. And she thinks she's alone in the world. She thinks she's the only person doing this. She was trained by her father, who died tragically. And she is recruited by like a dark, mysterious, reformed demon to come to a school that trains people like her. So if you think, I sort of pitched it originally, my editors, like, if Buffy and the Winchester brothers, like all the people, things that go bump in the night, had to go to like the college from Fourth Wing, what would this look like? So it's like a combat college. They're like learning to fight, but also there's sort of like the ninth house energy of like that collegiate, autumnal, dark academia, false doors, strange corridors, secrets, mystery, and of course the brewing will they won't they
romance
of her instructor, this guy, the one who recruits her, who's not only her instructor, she's a student, so that's forbidden, but he's a demon and she's a demon hunter.
So they some conflicts for sure,
maybe, if you will, like he's reformed but is self-loathing, she's feisty. You get the main idea.
I love it.
Awesome.
And she's trying to solve and trying to understand what happened to her father, right? So
Yes,
there's some things
yes.
happening in the school that things going on with
Things
students
will
and
start looking
yeah.
funky as the more she
Yeah.
investigates what happened to her dad, who went to the school but never told her about it, the
Yeah.
more, like more secrets, more, mysteries
Yeah.
kind of unfold.
I
And
was gonna say I love the
Very cool.
mystery element too. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
it's
awesome.
like
Ugh,
really, it's not a whodunit, but there really is
Yeah.
like a
sure.
who's doing it, like something is happening and she has to track down what's going on. And yeah, it's the
Yeah.
most like mystery I've ever written, and it was so much fun to write. I'm a big mystery reader, so
I
Interesting.
love it.
So then what was the first spark you think for this story? Do you think it was the world or Viv herself or
such
maybe
a
the
good
Academy?
question. And lately people have been asking because, you do promo, you do stuff like this, and I never have,
Yeah.
I feel like, the right answer. I think it was probably a combo of, two things. One, as I was finishing my first trilogy, which was that, Sacred Stone series, the first book was The Dawn of Onyx. That was the one I wrote on vacation. That's the first thing I ever wrote. I was sort of kind of mentally taking note of things that I couldn't wait to do differently next time. Not in
Oh,
any
yeah.
kind of like
Mm-hmm. Sure.
insult at all
Yeah.
to the book, but I was like, man,
Just
I miss
learning, yeah.
cars and text messages and modern pop culture references. Like there were things that I had sort of painted myself into a corner just by the nature of the genre. And so I thought,
Yep.
I don't want to give up fantasy, but I want,
Mm,
I love Buffy and Supernatural and Vampire Diaries and True Blood,
Yes.
all these shows, and then books that are sort of in that same space. And I was like, I want to write something that allows me to sort of still be in this modern world, but keep the fantasy sort of creatures and magic systems that I love. So I think that was one thing. The idea was kind of like percolating as I finished that series. Um, then also, the job thing was very similar. I wanted to write, you kind of can't help but write the thing you're grappling with into your books as a sort of like
Yep.
therapy. Creativity is obviously a great way to work through things. And so I was
For
very
sure.
interested in writing this girl who sort of by day was one thing and by night was something else, and was dealing with,
mm,
shame around wanting to be who she really is, but will she be accepted by the people in her life or whatever. And
Mhm.
so I was like, not that writing books is demon slaying, but I was like trying to, I think, work through something that sort of found its
Yeah.
way into Viv, which was really interesting, actually.
Yeah.
yeah. From my experience, writing books can feel like demon slaying,
It can,
actually.
it
Yeah,
can,
I
yes,
right.
think,
it really can.
He's
It's true.
he's working through it.
I
Yeah,
have to
and
slay my own demons
and
to get through it.
for
Yeah.
sure. Like she
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
that's the therapy part. Yeah. And
Yeah,
I'm
totally.
curious too, just as an educator, counselor, and teacher, the academic setting, what
Mhm.
was that like to write for you and inspiration there?
Yeah, that was, it's so funny because that part actually came last. I had this idea
Mm,
for this girl investigating this mystery, forced to team up with a demon, but the story just kind of wasn't working. There was no, they were just kind of trolling through the city. It was feeling really like gritty noir that was just kind of not
mm,
wanted. It didn't have like the gothic fantasy that I loved so much when I wrote my first series, and obviously they're in a castle in a forest, and I really loved that. And so then I had this idea to set it in a school. And so it was actually really fun to then kind of separate from this story that I had kind of mostly cracked and this city that I had cracked, to sort of go back and do a ton of research on like great, gothic stories and dark.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to NYU, which is, obviously a college in the middle of a big metropolitan.
Yes.
right, right.
Right in the mix. Yep.
And so it was really fun to sort of blend, like I brought up Ninth House, like I think that sort of dark academia, gothic school environment, that like East Coast Ivy League thing, and to put that into the hustle and bustle city.
Mm,
Not that that's exactly what NYU was like, but this was sort of my brainchild of like all these things that I had loved,
Yeah.
which was
I
I
really
love
love
it.
that.
I
That's
know.
that's my writer brain is now spinning thinking about what a big swing that is, or would like swing in story from like, the noir kind of like we're going around town to adding the structure of
yeah.
the academic setting.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. Like,
Yeah.
man, I bet that was a heck of a like light bulb
Yeah, can
going
you
off where you're like,
imagine
I
going back
wonder
to the
if.
Yeah.
outline and being like, delete, delete?
Wow.
Yeah.
But it was
But
just
a
the
fun
outline.
challenge when you know you
That's
figured it
awesome. It's
out.
very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so kind. It
I'm like
really, it
amazed.
was just in the sort of nascent stages. It was just the outline. But no, there was definitely like a lot of darling killing at that point, because
Hmm.
Yeah.
and ideas that I had started sort of were percolating that now didn't
Yep.
exist because she was a student. The whole thing had changed. But
Yep.
it was so necessary because it gave the story the structure that it really so desperately needed.
Yep.
Otherwise it was just, people kind of running around a city. It wasn't really,
Running around.
yeah.
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 And I'm sure all that the darlings you killed help inform the rest of the story and the characters. You know, you use that stuff, whether it's in the book or not, you're using it.
Yeah.
And
And
I
I know
gotta
you
say,
talked
oh,
sorry.
go ahead. Oh, I was just gonna
No,
say,
but
I've
you please.
never cut something that I've regretted. Like, I think if you can bring yourself
Yeah.
to do it, it was meant to be done. You know, like there were things where I'm like, I just couldn't bring myself to cut it. And there was some reason for that. And I'm glad that I didn't. But I've never looked at a
Yeah.
book and been like, ah, should have kept that scene, should have kept that character.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
That's good.
able to remove
Yeah.
them, there was a reason, you know?
Less is
Yeah.
more, you
That's
know.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's helpful.
Cut until you
That's
need it.
helpful to know because it is hard when in the moment when you're doing we've had characters that we cut that felt so near and dear,
Yep.
but now I
Yes.
think back and I'm like, "Oh, wow, yeah,
You get a little of that critical
they did
distance and
exist
you're
at some
like,
point." Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, it was really
Yeah.
hard in the moment, but yeah, no, that's good. Good advice,
It
good
is.
things to know. What I was thinking was you talked a lot about just growing up and really being inspired by reading and watching shows or books and shows that had like those strong female, the heroine leads with Buffy and things like that. Was Viv kind of part of the same inspiration? Like, what is her emotional journey of like, what you were trying to take her through with this?
Yes. Great question. Yes, very much so. I mean, I think that you can't you can't not see the Buffy comparison because
Mm,
that's my favorite show of all time, and I love
yeah, I
Buffy
love it.
so much.
And it's coming back.
I know, I'm really
So
excited.
excited.
But I'm
Yeah.
also like, don't mess it up. Don't mess it
Right. Don't you
Danger.
dare. Don't you
but
dare ruin our baby.
yeah, exactly. But yes, so there's I think a lot of Buffy just in the sort of like conceit of the story, the young girl who has to physically fight these demons, but of course she's also emotionally fighting demons and there's a coming of age element. I think in that way, yes. I think Viv and Buffy are very different. In fact, I'd say Viv is probably more like Faith if you're, a Buffy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
She's got a lot of darkness. She doesn't have that kind of like spunk and warmth that Buffy has. She's,
Right.
more of a black cat. She has this tragic,
Mm,
had a very traumatic childhood in which she witnessed her father die and she blames herself for it and feels that her
Yep.
family blames her for it. Um,
Yeah, that she's kind of the outsider and
yes,
mhm.
yeah,
the
and
black sheep.
isolated.
So I think the hope in crafting this journey or like in crafting her journey was that, you know, it's funny because in my first series, I wrote this character that was like unbelievably warm, eternally
Mhm.
fact characters are always giving her shit because she's just like so like
Yep.
every person is going to be a good person and we should help anybody that is in need and I assume that everything's going to go properly and like her kind of coming of age a little bit is like she's from a very small town, she has to sort of like let go of some of that naivete and learn what
Right.
Mhm.
like Viv is like the total inverse of that. She's warm with the people she loves but those people are few and far between and so
Yes.
Mhm.
not
Small inner circle.
yeah, she's
Yeah.
Mhm.
mostly hard on herself more than anybody else.
Yeah.
So the
Mm,
hope is that the journey for this character, without spoiling anything, is that, it is a journey of self-love and self-acceptance because
mm,
she's
Yeah.
feeling that she's not deserving of love or acceptance or the, sort of appreciation of her family or a romantic partner. And hopefully over the course of this story, you know, she can learn that that's not the case, but it kind of comes in fits and starts. That's sort of the
Yeah.
mm.
Yeah.
like,
And I feel
Yeah.
like that
That's
mirrors life because you don't learn
yeah,
that lesson in one go, and I
yeah.
think that is so powerful for readers to
That's
walk
true.
away with another example of,
And
like you said, that self-love
I
journey.
guess as a writer, I'm wondering, the first book, like you said, had this kind of fish out of water element, everything's rosy kind of
mm,
thing. And now we've got this harsh realism. Which one did you find was a little bit easier to write or identify with?
identify with definitely the first one. If you can't tell, I am a eternally cheery, grossly optimistic person. I don't know if that's a good thing, but that is the case.
But
Um,
sometimes it's more fun to write and be the villain.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I will say, I think, it was probably easier to write the headspace of Arwen, my original female main
Mm,
character, just because, it was more closely aligned with my
Mhm.
own, I wouldn't say she was exactly me either. If anything, I'm probably
Right.
sort of her, like the supporting best friend who is more of like a bookish, chatty Kathy, which is probably more my vibe. Arwen was like very shy and very internal, but
Yeah.
that kind of like worldview was easier for me
Yep.
But I would say this actually was probably easier to write, not to get like technical, but this is a writing
That's
podcast.
what we want. Yes.
Just
Yeah.
because I had written more books before, like I had gotten to the
Mm,
point where just writing in general now
Yep.
feels easier.
Yep.
I think also being able to set it in a modern world, that was a
Yep.
lot easier. Even just writing the characters,
Yeah.
it's easier to give her, she makes a reference to something that is a modern, book or TV series or whatever. It helps inform her sense of humor. It helps speak to what it, was a formative thing
Yep.
as a kid. And that made me understand her better. You can't do that as much in
Yes.
fantasy because it's all completely original.
Creative.
So
It's
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
original.
I would
Yeah. I'm
say
Yeah,
sure
I
it's
love
probably
nice
that.
to
like,
have those devices. Yeah.
I would say,
Yeah,
probably they were like
Yeah.
equal in some way.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I love that. And I feel like we've heard that sentiment from other writers around this like idea of writing being a muscle. If you're a
Mhm.
runner, you go out and run a 5K, then it's a 10K, and then you get used to it and you build your
Yeah.
stamina. And we're working through it.
Yeah.
It's something we're working on.
Like we said, we get down on ourselves when our characters evolve to become more like us, and we're like, are we doing something
We're like,
wrong?
wait,
No.
But so many people said similar to what you said. Like in the beginning, it is a little easier to write what you know, and then,
Yeah.
like he said, when you build that muscle, then you can branch out a
especially if you
little.
open the world up and you get that
Yeah.
breath of fresh air. Like, okay,
Yeah.
let
You
me
can put yourself
let
in
me
a
come
different
into the
headspace.
I love that.
No,
Yeah,
for sure.
totally.
I guess I'll ask the last question about the book, that stereotypical question, which is, when readers do close the book, what's the thing we want them to walk away with?
Ooh, oh gosh, that's a good question. Well, it is the first of a trilogy, so there may or may not be a brutal cliffhanger. If
I
if
I have
Okay.
heard some rumors there. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
that
I know.
you.
I didn't even think it was my worst one. I really like they always have them. But I don't really make a habit of reading Goodreads reviews because you're not supposed to do that. But sometimes I just can't help myself. And some
Yeah.
people were like, this cliffhanger. I'm like, oh God, I didn't.
Yes.
Mhm.
So
I saw someone said on there, like I was reading, I went to turn the page and it said acknowledgments, and they were just
Oh,
They're
so
upset.
just yeah.
brutal.
Yeah, it
So
was
I
a
guess
it was a
my
5-star review.
takeaway is don't worry because book 2 is coming imminently and it's not far away.
Yay.
But
Yeah,
I
don't
think
have to wait.
more on an emotional level. I mean, I think there is hopefully, if I've done anything right in what I set out to do in writing this book, there's some kind of takeaway about, self-acceptance or sort of
Yeah.
appreciating who we are
Yeah.
for the good and for the bad. And that's what makes us human. And that's what's so beautiful about being alive and the human condition and the human experience. So that sounded very lofty, but I think just
Love it. Nope.
love yourself and that's okay. And that's what we're here to do.
Yes.
It's okay to be a
It's the
person.
stories we need.
Yes, we
Yeah.
need that
We need
right
those
now. I
stories.
know.
Yeah.
I've been so hot on heated rivalry right now, and this
Yeah.
love story is so beautiful. And I'm like, I've been telling him, I'm like, this is so needed right now in the world and the
So
things
I
that we
couldn't agree
see
more.
every day, and to see these beautiful messages, like you said, of
Yeah.
self-love and acceptance and
Positivity.
positivity. That light is so needed. So
Yeah.
thank you for writing
Very
in
good.
such a fun, dark
I know.
space. I know, like
Dark
in the
I know we got to sneak it in
Yeah.
there. It's like, oh, I'm going to
I
read this
know.
dark book about monsters. Just kidding. It's really hopeful. Thank you. Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Awesome. Well, if you're, I know you're a fan of games. If you're down to
Yeah.
play a game,
Love
we have
games.
one for you here today.
Let's do it.
This is a new one. It's going to be kind of interesting. We're going to figure it out and feel it out as we go. And if you're out there listening, just know we're trying. We're doing what we can.
We're open to feedback.
We're open to feedback. The game is called The Impossible Meet Cute.
Okay.
And the thought is you're going to create a character, meaning a name and a trait, or maybe they have clothing or any details you want to add about character A.
Okay.
I'm going to create a character as well. And then Andrea is going to create a setting, and we're going to do it all separately. And then we're going to smash it all together and see if we can find a way together to kind of tell a little bit of their story, get to their
what
meet
might
cute.
the first few pages look
And then
like,
at the very end, we'll give it a title
and decide if we would read
and
it or
decide if
not.
we would
Yeah.
read it or write it. Yeah.
Fabulous. Okay.
Might be a disaster.
Okay. I'm
might
gonna
be
go.
a
I'm gonna go
next
heads down
5-star.
so I can
Okay.
focus.
Okay.
Here I go. Let me
All
think.
right.
I'm gonna do.
I mean, character.
Character's
I'm
aim.
trying to
name.
think about when someone says, you're like, what do you do for a living? Tell you, and you're like, that's a rom-com job. That's a
Yeah.
book or something. I'm trying to think of
Yes.
someone who's told me a good job lately that I can give this
That's a
character.
good
Mm.
one.
Yeah. When we started, we talked jobs. We talked
Like the
just
traits and
needs or
characteristics.
traits.
Yep.
I'm looking at this wall. I always look at this wall over here because it has all of our notes and all
I
of
just
our
looked
like
to the left as if I
our
could
cards.
see the wall.
Oh yeah,
that you're
sorry.
in.
Yeah,
That's my wall.
I'm always like looking at our notes and stuff, like talking to people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I think I
think
have.
I've got it. I just need a cool name.
Okay. Oh, you're coming
I
up
just
with
want to give them a
Okay.
name so we
Okay.
can label this person.
Yeah, I'm gonna let y'all say your characters first, and then I'm gonna tell you where they're gonna meet and
Okay.
see. I have.
Okay, I have
Okay,
a girl
I'm so
with
ready.
a job, but I don't have her name. I have her quirk.
That's fine. We can always come up with it together too if she needs a name.
Should I share it? Should we
Okay.
wait for
Yes.
yours?
Yes.
Please.
All right, we're ready. I'm ready. You're ready. Let's do this.
Yes.
You go ahead.
Should I go first?
Go ahead.
She doesn't have a name, so I feel like I'm gonna let you guys name her because I couldn't think of it.
I like it.
Okay, this person I think works at like a fancy travel agency planning big luxurious trips for other people. But she is like kind of scared to fly, scared to get on planes, scared to like leave her small town, and has actually never been to any of these places that she likes.
Okay.
I literally
she helps
thought
other
of that
people.
because I looked at my calendars right here, and we have a trip coming up, and that was what made me think of it.
Fun.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
But she's a little like
Okay.
agoraphobic.
Yeah.
Okay.
To just homebody.
But she has a
I don't know
dream.
what-
She wants to go somewhere. I don't know where.
Oh, okay.
She wants to go.
That is part of her. Okay.
Okay.
Mm.
I think the person I'm thinking of, I named him Alex just to name him Alex.
Perfect.
It can be Alex. That's our guy. He needs a new name. I veto that.
His name is.
Even though this is yes and. Sorry.
His name is Benny.
Okay.
Perfect.
Benny. And Benny is a dog walker.
Mm.
And he only walks 2 dogs, Milo and Stella.
Oh, yeah.
Lucky guy. Great dog.
Very lucky guy. And his trait is that the dogs are the chill one, but he's like the golden retriever energy all over the place one. So the dogs are kind of walking him. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
totally.
That's his
I feel like
vibe.
I've known these dog walkers like on hikes. You know, you pass someone like
They're more excited than the dogs are.
Yeah.
totally.
And now I'm gonna tell you where these two have to have this impossible
Where are they gonna
meet
meet?
cute.
Let's see.
I don't know her name yet. Did you have any inspiration for her name?
Okay, let's call her Bonnie. Bonnie and Benny.
Oh, I like it.
Bonnie and Betty.
That's so cute. Bonnie and Benny.
They're a couple named Benani.
They meet while floating along in a lazy river at a water park.
Lazy
Incredible
river.
This is their impossible meet
Water
cute.
park.
They
So,
bump in their float
with their tubes. Yeah.
And I'm gonna go ahead and set the scene that Benny has the 2 dogs in rafts attached to him, and he's full on like zinc on the nose, big hat. And
maybe
the dogs
like
are
a
just
pet.
like chilling, you know, like
it's bring your pet day at the water park.
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
And
So
Bonnie's
they're all just floating
there,
together.
like scoping out for, people's trips because when they come to the city, she recommends the water park for couples with kids.
Okay.
She's branching out a little
But
bit.
she's sort of nervous to be there because
pushing her out of her comfort zone.
Yeah.
So maybe, I like that. So maybe
what gets them
if
to start?
What if
lose
they're
the
floating
dogs.
by? Oh, okay.
Ooh, and
Okay.
she
Together
helps
to find the
because
dog.
she
Okay.
already helps people
like it.
find things.
Yeah.
Okay, so how about this?
Uh-huh.
She pulls him aside because she wants reviews about the dog park or the water park so she can share them with her clients. And as they're talking, the dogs bolt.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
So now they've
Milo and Stella are
they've
having
got to
some
work
fun.
together.
Yeah.
I know.
They just love the park. They're going to give the best reviews of the park.
Stella would just go find some shade and drop the ice cream. That's what Stella would actually do. But
So what would we call this?
I like this. So so then the dogs sprint
Yeah.
away and they have to find the dogs.
And that's how they start
And that's how
working
the book
together
opens.
and dialogue. Yeah.
Okay.
So what would
Okay,
the
let's name the
title
book.
is? I know. What's the
Oh,
title?
I'm really bad at titles. I'm terrible. In fact,
dog
I've needed
travel
help titling every book I've ever written from my editor, from my husband. I'm terrible. Not a skill that
That's
I have.
Fun fact.
I know, that is a fun fact. That's a good one.
Dogs,
I
and we
know,
have
it's great.
travel,
Water
and we have a
parks.
water park.
It's a tough one. The title is tough. Yeah, I know.
Because maybe after they journey around, maybe they find the dogs. Each one chases a different dog, so they have to come back together.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, I found Milo. I found Stella," and they're like, "Hey, something happens." Maybe I'm trying to think of one big thing that would inform the title, Because I don't think the whole thing would happen at the water park.
I know, maybe they get out. Maybe it gets bigger and it helps her expand her world because she's
Maybe
like
the
it.
person who walks the dog, maybe the person who hired Benny to walk the dogs is a fancy person traveling whatever on vacation and rewards
Yeah.
them for saving the dogs with like an all-inclusive paid trip to something they have to go to.
Yeah.
Yes,
Or
but they
whatever.
have to go together.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good
I
one.
love
Yeah.
this.
Kind
I
of.
love this. Okay.
So yeah, they
Some
tell
kind of
the
adventure.
dog
So
mom,
this is
hey,
easy
Yeah.
because
we lost
now
the
we can
dogs.
just
Find out.
base the title on whatever location.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
That's nothing too. It's kind of
But they have to take the dogs. That's the other. That's
Yeah, the
the
dogs have to.
they have to take the dogs. That's the other thing is that
It could be like all dogs go to heaven, but it's all dogs go to blank.
Yes,
and it's wherever.
perfect.
all dogs go to Hawaii. All dogs go to
Yeah.
Haiti.
That's really
I
cute.
love it.
Very cute.
All
Okay, there you go.
dogs go to Hawaii.
And now our listeners can decide. Would you read this book?
I like it.
About
I think
Benny
we're
and
there.
Bonnie.
Very cute. It has
know,
dogs.
I
It has
love it.
travel. It has a will they won't
I
they couple.
know.
He's high energy.
Forced proximity.
I like it.
Yeah,
They
I
gotta.
love
They
it.
gotta.
They have things they're both working on.
Let me write it down.
That's
Check.
a good one.
Okay.
It's
That's
ready.
so
I love
fun.
it.
Write the
That was
write
fun.
the Goodreads review now.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
exactly.
You want to do one more? Or you just
No, we're good. That's
Yeah,
it. That was the game.
That's
We'll
the one.
call it.
Oh, I love
All
it.
dogs go
That's
to
so
Hawaii.
good.
We win.
All dogs
Guys,
go
how
to Hawaii.
fun.
That was fun.
That was a good. Yeah, I
It was
love
fun.
that. Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you for playing and
Yeah.
trying out the
Of
new
course.
game. That's a
Oh my
fun
gosh,
one.
thanks
I
for
can't
bearing
yeah.
with me with my terrible titling skills. We got
No,
there.
No,
that
I'm glad
was-
we figured it
yeah,
out.
no, you're the one who solved it. Yeah,
We did a lot of work in a couple minutes. I'll tell you. We
I
wrote a whole
know.
book there.
She's a good
Basically, we've
puzzler.
shown it's really
she solved
easy.
the puzzle.
We just show people that this is a breeze.
You know, when you're really good at something, it always makes it look easy.
I was going
You know
to
what I mean?
say, yeah.
That's what it is.
Kate's
Yes,
making it look
that's what it
easy.
was.
She's
yeah.
making it look easy.
Yes, yes, yes.
I know if this
Um,
had been me alone, I would have been struggling.
Well, I was going to say, I know this is not your typical way of writing a story. What does your day of writing look like? Do
Yeah.
you have drinks? Do you turn on the disco ball? Does the fog machine come out and you're...
Playlist.
Imagine. God, I hope that's how somebody is doing it. That's awesome.
I do too. Bring
I
the energy.
almost had Benny and Bonnie meet in line at a EDM festival,
Oh,
like
man.
a music festival.
Wow,
Yeah,
and
I
how
was thinking
different
about
this story would be. All dogs
Yeah.
go to Electric Daisy Carnival. No, just kidding.
yes.
The dogs have little headphones on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally.
How cute.
My a writing day, I mean, it's different all the time. Weirdly, I got in this habit back when I was not a full-time author, and this is still pretty new. I mean, it's January and I only left my job in October, so we could do a revisit in a year or so, but
Yeah.
I'm used to the
Ask
habit
again.
of writing like disgustingly early in the morning. Like sometimes I will wake up at 4 a.m. to start writing because not even because like, oh, I'm such a hard worker or whatever, but because I love the silence. I love the peace. It feels like I got to pause time and just go
Yes.
write by myself.
Yep.
I don't feel like
Agree.
it's something else I'm supposed to be doing. I like that feeling.
I love that.
Yeah.
So I will, even now still, like I was up at 5 and started writing this morning at 5. So I'll wake up early and all I really need is my laptop, my headphones. I listen to movie soundtracks with no lyrics, which I think is really and that's kind of it. I park right
Yeah.
here on this like very cozy green couch in this like little office. And I will write kind of if I can go uninterrupted, I could write for hours and hours and hours and never stop. Not that it's productive or it's good or it doesn't get deleted, but I can't
Yeah.
go because I find it so
You
fun.
just love it. Yeah.
I just love
Yeah,
it.
that sounds great, actually.
It
Nice
does.
early. The
Yeah.
brain's still fresh.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I
I
ready
like
to
that
go.
idea
try-
of pausing time.
What'd you say?
I like that idea of pausing time. Like,
That's
yeah.
time.
I
Owning
just
that
too,
moment.
and I not to single
Oh,
you out,
here
but
we
like
go.
as women, I feel like it's so hard to relax because I always feel like there's something I should be doing.
Yeah.
It's so hard for me to get to that point where that's why honestly I love vacation because I'm like there's nothing for me to do. Like I can't go move the dishes over in the dishwasher, move the laundry or whatever. So yeah, no, I love that
it's
idea.
so true. Just being able to feel like you're
Yeah.
kind of like free of obligation. And I don't know what it is, but even if I have, like one thing at 9 a.m., it's just hard, even knowing, okay, I've got 3 hours till that. It's hard to know that there's a stop point coming. I really like
Yep.
a long,
Just
uninterrupted.
the runway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I find starting in
great
the
way to start your
afternoon
day.
really difficult. Like if I have to start writing at like 3, there's just not gonna
Yep.
happen. got to be kind of first
Yeah.
in the morning.
Yeah. I know you talked a little earlier too about your outline and like once you figured out the academic setting and things. So does that mean you're more of a plotter or you're a pantser? Like a little
I
bit of
do
both?
not have a pantsing bone in my body. The thought of coming up with something this high is just not does not sound feasible to me. I
Yeah.
have a very kind of really, really hyper detailed outline before I write anything that is like chapter by chapter, and within each chapter, it's almost just like a written kind of like summary of
Yeah.
what's gonna happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that it always I would say the first draft usually follows it pretty closely because I don't go back and rewrite, so, like, I will just follow and write the whole book as is. Um, even if I'm like,
Mm.
"I don't think this thing is working," unless I'm 100% sure, I'm more likely to just finish the book out. Then I'll sort of leave it for a while and come back to it with I like to say, like, a whole different brain on, and now I look
Mhm.
I'm like, "Okay, now I'm gonna pretend to be an editor or, like, a story developer, and I'm gonna read this and say,
Yeah.
'This doesn't work, this doesn't work.' I never look at the outline again, and now I just work off of, like, that, but no, the first draft, I'm always going pretty much right
Yeah.
outline.
That's
I
awesome.
love that. That feels
Yeah.
comfortable to me. That's like, oh, that feels like a good safe space to me.
So
Well,
yeah,
by the
I
way,
like
it's
that.
so safe because 'cause you're
Mm.
like, "Okay, even if this is terrible," like, when I'm working on the outline, I'm like, "That's the writer's problem. I'm just the outliner."
Right.
Writing it, I'm like, "No,
Exactly.
this is terrible. That's the editor's problem. I'm just the writer." And then when I'm editing it, I'm like,
Oh,
"Well, that's my editor, like, at Berkeley's problem."
that's
You know?
yeah.
I, like, keep just
That's
passing
so
it,
smart.
the buck down the
Just
line.
rolls downhill.
Oh, that is so
I love it.
smart. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, in that same vein, what has changed in your process since writing the first one?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are the tips and tricks you've learned or the things you realize that work better for you?
Yeah, I mean, the process I don't think has changed too much. I have always liked writing in the
Oh,
morning. I've
nice.
always been an outliner. I don't think those things have changed a whole lot, but I've definitely picked up a lot of tips and tricks along the way. Definitely the first one is do not go back. Do not go back and rewrite.
Do not.
Uh,
Yes.
Let me write it down again. That's my cardinal sin.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
It's so insanely hard, but it's just once you start that process and you go back and you say, "Well, I don't really like this character. I'm gonna go back and delete him throughout the whole book and then pick back up." You go back and then you realize actually, "Oh, well, I don't like this scene. I'm just gonna set this somewhere new really quick. Then I'll go back." And like
Mm,
7 months will pass and you're like, "My book hasn't."
House of Cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
that. I think also I've learned not to paint myself into a corner. I did that a lot
Mm-hmm.
book. I think to cut myself some slack, I never thought anyone would read it. I never thought I would actually write a sequel. Like I really thought I was writing
Yeah.
fun. So I made a bunch of rules and a bunch of characters and set a bunch of, systems in place that had I known I'd have to
Mhm.
out the trilogy, I maybe would not have done that. It's not that those necessarily made it into the final product, but a lot more work to edit. So I try to be more mindful of that.
Interesting.
And I think, the classic thing that I think, frankly, I still struggle with, letting your characters lead the plot rather than the other way around. I think I
Mm-hmm.
can have a tendency to be so in love with a scene or a sequence or a moment that I really want to happen that I will sort of shoehorn my characters into doing that. And when you read it, you can feel that it's false or
You feel the shift.
your,
Mm.
your editor is like, why would this person do this? And you're like, well, because I want this to happen. And that's like not a good
Right.
reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well,
trying
that's
to
good
allow
advice.
you
Yeah.
Yeah.
to tell you. Now it's a bummer because like sometimes if you, like you're like, I'm gonna write a really thoughtful, self-possessed 21-year-old woman who is not, super naive and like makes good decisions. And then you're like, well, this is boring because she's
Right.
getting into
She's already
trouble and like she's making really
yeah.
thoughtful choices. So then you're like, okay, how can I still
Yeah.
allow the things that I want to happen, but make sure that it feels true to the character? That's something that I'm trying to
Yeah.
get better at.
Mhm.
Putting those
Mhm.
appropriate hurdles in there
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah.
You know, I recently finished the Dungeon Crawler Carl series,
Oh, my
and
husband read like all 7 books in 2 weeks. He
Oh my
devoured.
yes,
goodness.
that's
Yes.
pretty
Pretty much
much what
same.
I
Yeah.
did. They're
Yeah.
back here somewhere.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
we have them right away.
when you're talking about rules and the things, it's like there's something like 800 characters, and every item has a different rule, and I'm like, there's no way I could keep track
Yeah.
of that. Like, how many
Could
spreadsheets
though.
would you need anyway? It's
If
I
it
whew.
don't know,
was
but I
your
do love a
world,
spreadsheet.
you would be able
Yeah,
to.
yeah,
I
Yeah,
feel like
it
I've
makes
also
sense.
learned
yeah.
that with this book, which has, more world building than my first series. One of the biggest notes I got from beta readers was like, well, wait, I don't understand this. You never explained how this worked. And I would realize that there were just so many things that I understood so clearly. I didn't even like realize I'd have to
Yeah,
reader.
that's interesting.
Mm,
It was like, well, of course, this is how you.
yeah.
What do you
You
mean?
were just
You don't
going.
know this
Yeah.
Yeah.
how a mermaid is killed? Come on, blah blah blah. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I
Yeah.
forgot that. Like, I nowhere in the book did I explain these
Yep.
rules. So I wonder if that's how Matt Dinniman feels. It's
That's
like there's all these rules for the
Yeah.
Yep.
characters, but to him,
Well, you just
Oh my
see, yeah,
gosh.
you see
yeah,
it so clearly in your head. Yeah.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
only imagine, like,
Yeah.
especially, yeah, and like you said, feedback on something like that where everybody's coming in with it's almost like playing D&D, right? Where some
Mhm.
people are really into the story, some people are into the character, some
Mm.
people are into the
The
min-maxing or
mechanics.
the
Yeah.
mechanics. Like,
Mhm.
it's kind of the same thing and
Yeah.
as you build your world. Very
It's
cool.
true. I'm curious, what's your favorite part about writing? Like, what
Mm.
energizes you the most?
is it? I mean, this is my like grossly like cheery answer. I'm like all of it.
Please. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
think.
love it.
I mean, yeah, I think that my favorite moment is probably this is going to be a really hot take. I think most people won't agree with this, but I love reading the very first draft. Like the first time
Mm,
to read the book, that is the most fun
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
because at some point in time you were like, damn, I wish I had this book. And you want that so much, you
Yes.
write it. So then it's like you get to be like that version of
Yeah.
you that at one point was like, I just want to read a book about this like demon hunter at the school so
Mhm.
badly. And then I get to read that book. It exists. And like
You
that's
may,
always
That's
yes.
awesome.
and there's no pressure because you're like, this could be garbage. You
Yeah.
want it to be garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You assume
Yep.
it's gonna be
Ah,
garbage. So it's kind of only
yeah.
Yep.
That's a great
I love it.
answer.
Good one.
Thank
you guys have that to
All
look
right.
Are
forward
you?
to, you know?
I
I
know.
know. I'm
It's your first
excited.
draft.
This is the year. We've said
This is it.
2026. It's been almost a year
It's
since
been
we
almost a year
started
since we started.
writing and the podcast and everything. So
I have total
this
faith in
is
you.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna do
Thank
it.
you. Well, are you ready to enter the gauntlet, the final exam of the final
Yes.
5 of our
I'm ready.
academy here today?
Very tricky.
Yes, very tricky. Yes. So it's just whatever comes to your mind first. There's no wrong answer. So
Goodness. Okay.
open door or closed door?
Open door.
Sexiest occupation for a main character? I know you talked a little bit about like rom-com jobs and things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What a good question. Something creative.
Oh, I
Oh,
love that.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Matt's gonna
Have
love that. His
artist.
degrees in
Yes.
creative theory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm on board.
Yeah. Favorite beverage while writing?
Water with lemon in it. It's really boring, but it's all I drink.
Oh,
I
that's
don't like the
good.
taste of water.
That's good
so
It's a good
put
one.
lemon in it. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm,
No, that's good. That's
good one.
hydrating. Yes. Keeps your brain going. Favorite punctuation mark?
Ugh, the M dash, which is it's very annoying now because now that's like a chat GPT thing, I guess. Everyone's
No, I
like,
know, but
I'm like,
we've decided we're starting a
authors have
club.
been doing that long before
No,
AI.
yes, because their
Absolutely.
writing was used to train
Yeah.
so
so
it came
true.
from humans
it.
for sure. But we've
That is
decided if you'd like to join that, we're starting a
We're
club.
starting a club.
The save the
retake
M
the M
dash. We're
dash
going to take
club.
it back. We're
I would
reclaiming
love
it.
to
So
join this club.
if you'd
I
like
love
to
it.
be
Okay.
part of the club, you are an official
too.
member now. We
All right,
dub you an
welcome.
official member. Welcome to the club. And final 5 question. What's one word you always overuse in those first drafts?
There's so many. Cruel. Everybody's cruel. His eyes are cruel.
Cool.
Oh.
Cruel.
Cruel.
Oh,
Oh,
Cruel would be better.
cruel.
'Cause Cruel's like
Yeah.
cruel. He
Yeah.
was no cruel.
Yeah, it's really cool.
He was
Yeah.
cruel. He said it cruelly. His eyes were cruel. You know, the cruel cut of his jaw. It's like enough.
That's a good
Enough
one.
with cruel.
I like that.
Mm,
Sets the tone.
That's great.
I like
I
it.
love it.
That's
It's
a
the vibe.
good one. Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank
That's
you
all we've
so
got for you
much.
today.
I
You
know.
guys,
Everybody out there listening,
Oh
Kate,
my
thank you so
gosh.
much. Please go pick up the book,
Gosh,
Half
my
City, February 17th.
Yes.
We had the best conversation, Kate. We're going to share socials and everything at the end, but
Yes.
seriously, thank you for
Yeah.
joining us and
this was
send us some
such
Milo
a
pictures,
blast.
you know?
Oh my God. Say no
Yeah,
more. I
thank
will.
you.
And of
Yeah.
Stella.
Yes.
I want them in return.
Wow. Fun. So
The
fun. She was the
best.
best.
Thank you, Kate.
Yes, thank you for joining us. And hopefully we get to do it again
I
when
know.
the next book
The
comes out.
best. But in the meantime, we'll wait to
Yeah.
read All Dogs Go to Hawaii. I'm
I'm
sure she'll
telling
be
you.
publishing that very soon.
Yeah, it's on her list right now, things
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
I loved her talking about getting up early and
Mhm.
using those like void hours.
Yeah, for sure.
because
that
for me it is when my brain's the freshest. So I feel
Yeah.
like that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I would have to get in bed at a reasonable time.
That
You
would
keep
be
me up too
difficult
late.
for you. Not me.
That's your fault.
You fight the man and not going to sleep.
Mm-mm.
But no, I like that idea because it feels like you're like sneaking time that you weren't supposed to get
Stealing
when she
time.
said that about pausing time. And it does. It's so quiet and there's nothing
should try
else
that.
for you to do. Like you don't feel the obligations of
True.
other responsibilities. And yeah.
Mhm.
I also liked her advice around like letting the characters lead the plot. I think we've been
talked
guilty of
about it and
getting
trying
things in
to-
our head of stuff that we want to happen, but then if it doesn't feel authentic to the characters and yeah,
doesn't matter.
things like
Feel
that. So, yeah,
shoehorned if we start to
I
stick stuff.
appreciated that advice too. And I liked her talking about, well, that's the editor's problem. Well, that's the
That's a really good idea.
like
It
that
takes
was
the pressure off of you,
yeah,
you
I'm
know?
just the outliner.
Just the
Yeah,
outline
that's
person.
such a great mentality to have. So thank you to
Thank
Kate.
you,
Please
Kate.
pick up Half City, February 17th.
February
It comes out
17th.
tomorrow. It is the first book in the Harker Academy series, and so I've got more good stuff to come.
know, I'm
I'm like
excited.
the cliffhanger is gonna
I know. Now I'm
leave
worried
us
about a cliffhanger.
leave us wanting. Yeah.
The idea of like, oh man, what's happening next?
And then boom,
Oh,
acknowledgments. Yeah. But she is on Instagram at Kate Golden Author. She's on
Huh?
TikTok at Kate underscore Golden underscore author. And her website is kategoldenbooks.com.
Do you need me to tell her
I don't
website?
think so. No one needs
Okay.
that for sure.
What was the website again? Kate Golden Book?
KateGoldenBooks.com.
.com?
Go find out all
Go find
about
her.
her and her past books too. I know.
Indeed.
I just love too that it all came out of being on vacation, enjoying just the love of reading, and then wanting, like, she created the book that she wanted to read.
It's a lot like what Jane Ann Krentz told us about this idea of not that I can do better, but I just have a story to tell. I have a story I want to tell my way. And I love that. I think it's awesome.
And the passion for it that you just, once you find that thing and you can't stop doing it, it's like, that's it. That's the thing. So thank you, Kate, for your time.
And thank you for joining us here
For a
on our
full
next
year.
chapter. 1 full year. You've done it. High five.
You high five.
I mean, high five. Wait, high five. All right.
High five.
Better high
We
five.
did
Come on.
it.
Okay. Thank you.
High
Better.
five.
I like your mosquito shirt here, your fly shirt.
They're not mosquitoes, they're
Makes me happy.
flies. This was an artist in Dallas that created this and made these. It's so fun.
And I appreciate you unbuttoning your pants for the show today.
Why are you like this?
Well, I'm not
That is
supposed to
so
mention that part.
disrespectful.
Okay, sorry. I'm supposed to mention
Wow,
that.
you think
You
you
can
can trust somebody. Now
find
you owe me
us
2 Valentines
at
gifts.
ournextchapter.com. Wait,
No.
ournextchapterpodcast.com. This is why I don't do this part. This is why I'm not allowed.
He's been saying
What's
this
our
for a year
Instagram?
and he forgot. We're at Our Next Chapter Podcast on Instagram. Please go find us.
Go
If you
find
go
us.
to our website, ournextchapterpodcast.com. Nope, we're in 2026 now, so we don't do that anymore. You can sign up for our non-existent newsletter and get your name in the back of our book when we publish, which our goal is to finish the book this year.
It's happening this year.
Yeah, we're
Something's coming
excited.
out.
Yeah.
Even if it's a
We're about
4-page
Yeah.
something.
But thank
I
you
don't know,
just to
something's coming.
everyone out
It's
there.
happening.
We've had and felt so much support and so much love for what we've been doing. We know this is, something very different outside of the comfort zone for both of us, but it has been such a fun year, and having you guys along with us and all of your feedback and thoughts and encouragement has just kept us going. It means the world. Yeah. So thank you for that. And until next time, I love you.
I love you.
Oh, that's nice.
Where's my Valentine? Stella!
Stelly! It's rude. I'm going to take her to the Matt Dinniman event then.
Where's my puppies?
I'm not going to take you. I'm your Valentine forever.